Have you ever felt like you're aging faster than others your age? Your body aches more often. Your skin gets itchy easily. Digestion feels off. Going to the bathroom isn't as comfortable as it used to be. Or maybe you just don't feel as confident as you once did. If so, you're not alone. According to a survey by the National Institutes of Health (NIH), 7 out of 10 men over the age of 60 are facing at least 3 health issues at the same time related to urinary function, digestion, and age-related male vitality. But what most people don't realize is that there are completely natural solutions. No medicine, no clinic visits, just simple steps that can help your body feel better each day. In today's video, I'm going to share a simple tip using one common household item, baking soda. When used the right way, it may help you feel cleaner, sleep more soundly, improve digestion, and even support your energy and vitality naturally. If you're living in the United States or anywhere around the world, leave a comment below. And don't forget to watch until the end for the most important tip in this video. Benefit number 1. Relieves itching, dryness, and irritation in sensitive lower body areas. There is one thing many men over the age of 60 often feel uncomfortable talking about. It's the persistent itching and discomfort around the groin, inner thighs, or the skin between the legs. At first, it might just feel a little dry. Then it turns into a dull itch at night. Eventually, it becomes so bothersome that it keeps you up and makes you restless during the day. Many people think this is just part of aging, or due to changes in the body or the weather. But few realize that this could be a sign that the delicate skin in these areas is experiencing pH imbalance, mild inflammation, or irritation from sweat and friction. One of my patients, Richard, age 68, who lives in Oregon, once told me that going to bed was a struggle. Every time he lay down, the itching would begin. He had tried all sorts of powders, creams, and even allergy medications, but nothing worked. What worried him most was the loss of confidence. He felt hesitant to be close to his spouse because he no longer felt clean or comfortable in his own body. At that point, I suggested something simple: soaking in warm water with half a cup of baking soda for 15 to 20 minutes, 2 to 3 times per week. After just 2 sessions, he came back and said he had finally slept through the night without needing to scratch. Baking soda helps neutralize acidity on the skin, calms peripheral nerve endings, and soothes mild irritation. It is especially effective in areas where the skin stays moist and experiences friction, like the inner thighs or near the urinary region. This is not a medication, but it brings clear, gentle relief after each soak. More importantly, it is a way to care for and respect your body. You don't need colognes, fancy creams, or expensive products. Just a basin of warm water, a spoonful of simple powder, and 20 quiet minutes. That moment is when you remind yourself that your health still matters. This sense of comfort helps you sleep better, feel more confident in close moments, and stay at ease whether you're sitting, standing, or moving through your day. So if there's an area on your body that's been bothering you, don't be afraid to try this. The answer might not be in medication, but in a simple and gentle act of self-care. Benefit number 2: supports digestion and relieves heartburn in older adults. Do you remember the feeling of enjoying a warm, satisfying meal with your family? As we age past 60, many people begin to notice that even their favorite meals can lead to discomfort. Symptoms like bloating, heartburn, heaviness in the stomach, or mild nausea often appear after eating, even when the food is familiar and mild. This is not uncommon. As the body ages, the production of stomach acid decreases, and the muscles responsible for digestion slow down. Food stays in the stomach longer, creating pressure and irritation that can travel up toward the chest and throat. Carl, age 72, from Illinois, was a former basketball coach and a lifelong sports enthusiast. But lately, he shared that after every meal, he felt a burning sensation rising from his stomach to his throat. It even affected his sleep. After ruling out serious medical concerns, I offered him a very simple suggestion: mix half a teaspoon of baking soda into a glass of warm water and sip it slowly after meals. Just 1 week later, he returned with a big smile and said, "It's been a long time since I've felt this comfortable after dinner." Baking soda is a mild alkaline compound. When it reaches the stomach, it can help neutralize excess acid and quickly soothe the irritated lining, reducing that burning and bloated feeling. Unlike typical antacids that contain aluminum or artificial coloring, baking soda does not cause side effects when used properly and occasionally. However, anyone with high blood pressure, kidney disease, or who is taking medication should consult their doctor before using it regularly. What matters most is the feeling of regaining control over your meals. When you no longer feel anxious about what will happen after each bite, you begin to enjoy your food again and feel more connected with your family around the dinner table. The change doesn't come from a powerful drug. It comes from one small habit, and that is what makes the difference. So if your stomach is making you hesitant to enjoy meals, consider giving this a try. One small glass of water might just reopen the door to something very real: eating with joy, sleeping in peace, and living with ease. Benefit number 3. Soothes foot pain, eliminates odor, and supports foot care. Your feet have carried you through every stage of life, from youth to old age. Every step you've taken is a mark of time. But after the age of 60, the feet start to feel more tired. Some people notice a burning sensation on the soles. Others experience cracked heels. And many feel hesitant to take off their shoes in public because of unpleasant foot odor. These small discomforts, if left unaddressed, can quietly take away your confidence and even limit your ability to walk or move around each day. I once met a man named Dennis, age 74, living in Texas. He had worked as a firefighter, strong, resilient, and not one to complain. But when he came to see me, he sighed and said his feet always felt dry, cracked, sometimes itchy, and had an unusual smell. His wife often reminded him not to rest his feet on the furniture because the odor would linger. After an exam, I showed him a gentle way to care for his feet. All it took was mixing a few spoonfuls of baking soda into a basin of warm water and soaking his feet for about 20 minutes each evening, then drying them thoroughly, and, if needed, sprinkling a bit of baking soda into his shoes to absorb moisture. 1 month later, he came back walking lighter and smiling brightly. He said the itching and burning had disappeared. His skin felt softer, and most importantly, there was no more unpleasant smell. This simple foot soak with baking soda turned out to be surprisingly effective. It helps reduce bacteria, soothes irritated skin, and provides a true sense of relaxation. For older adults, healthy feet not only make walking easier, but also support better blood circulation, improve mood, and boost confidence in everyday life. Benefit number 4. Cleans dentures and keeps your breath fresh. After the age of 60, many people begin using dentures or other oral devices. There is nothing to be ashamed of. It is simply part of the natural aging process. However, wearing dentures can sometimes come with discomfort, unpleasant breath, or unexplained dryness and soreness in the gums. If you've ever avoided speaking closely with someone because you were worried about your breath, you are not alone. I once spoke with a man named Walter, age 79, who lives in Ohio. After replacing all of his teeth with dentures, he often noticed an unusual smell in his mouth, even though he cleaned them carefully every day. He told me that whenever he spoke closely with his wife, he felt self-conscious, afraid that she would notice something was wrong. At that point, I gave him one very simple suggestion. Each night before bed, soak the dentures in a cup of warm water mixed with a small spoonful of baking soda. No alcohol-based mouthwash. No expensive products. After about 2 weeks, Walter returned with a brighter look on his face. He said his wife had noticed the strange smell was gone, and he felt that his mouth was cleaner and no longer dry or irritated. Baking soda works as a gentle cleanser, helping to remove buildup and bacteria from the small crevices of dentures without damaging the soft tissues in the mouth. Keeping the mouth clean not only boosts your confidence, but also supports overall health, especially your heart and immune system. When your mouth feels fresh and your breath is pleasant, you feel more ready to talk, laugh, and enjoy meals with loved ones. It's a small joy, but one that means a great deal as we grow older. Benefit number 5 helps relieve pain from gout attacks. Gout is one of the most painful forms of arthritis, especially for men over the age of 60. The pain often comes without warning, sometimes during the night or after a protein-heavy meal. The most common spot is the big toe, but it can also affect the ankle or knee. The sensation is not just soreness. It's a sharp, intense pain with swelling and redness sometimes. Even the light touch of a blanket can feel unbearable. I still remember a patient named Harold, age 66, who worked as a plumber in Michigan. He had always been strong and active, but after gout began, he had to cut back on walking and relied heavily on painkillers. What drained him the most wasn't the physical pain. It was the frustration of having to give up things he used to enjoy, like morning walks or gardening with his wife. During one of his follow-up visits, after carefully reviewing his condition, I shared with him a simple, natural tip. At the first sign of discomfort, dissolve half a teaspoon of baking soda in a glass of water and drink it in the morning no more than once per day, and only for a few consecutive days. Baking soda is mildly alkaline, and it helps neutralize uric acid, which is the main factor behind the inflammation and pain caused by gout. When this acid is lowered in the bloodstream, the chance of sharp crystals forming in the joints also decreases. Of course, this does not replace medication, especially in severe cases, but for mild or early-stage gout, this natural method can help ease the pain and prevent flare-ups. 1 week later, Harold called me and said just one short sentence. He had gone on a walk with his wife around the park without needing to stop halfway. Sometimes, Just a little less pain can give you back an entire day. Benefit number 6. Soothes burning or discomfort during urination. One of the most quietly bothersome issues for men over 60 is the mild burning or stinging sensation while urinating, or the frequent urge to urinate throughout the day while still feeling like the bladder hasn't fully emptied. Some people have to wake up 2 or 3 times during the night to use the bathroom, only to pass a small amount of urine each time. While this issue is not always serious, it directly affects sleep, mood, and daily routines. I once met a man named George, age 70, from Florida. He was a quiet person, but his tired eyes told me everything. When he sat down in the exam chair, he sighed and said slowly that every trip to the bathroom felt like a small battle. At first, he thought it was the weather, or simply dehydration. But after a few weeks, things got worse. He couldn't sleep and felt tense all the time. After ruling out signs of serious infection and confirming it was likely mild inflammation or irritation in the urinary tract, I suggested a simple and safe method. Each day, he could mix half a teaspoon of baking soda into a glass of filtered water and drink it once or twice a day for 3 to 5 days. Depending on how he felt, baking soda can help neutralize the acid in urine, which reduces the irritation as it passes through the sensitive urinary lining. This in turn helps ease the burning or stinging sensation. George called me just 3 days later. He said the discomfort had clearly decreased, and that night he slept a full 7 hours without waking up to use the bathroom. For many people, that might sound ordinary, but for him, it was the first peaceful night of sleep in nearly 3 months. This use of baking soda is not a replacement for medication if there is an actual infection. However, if the cause is minor irritation, hormonal changes, or the early stages of an enlarged prostate, this is a gentle way to help the body rest. Once you're no longer anxious every time you go to the bathroom, your mind can relax too, and as better sleep returns, your overall health starts to recover little by little. Benefit number 7. Relieves pain from mouth sores and canker sores. Many people over the age of 60 experience recurring mouth sores. These small ulcers inside the cheek, on the gums, or under the tongue are not dangerous, but they take away the joy of eating, make it uncomfortable to speak, and sometimes even cause fear of drinking warm water as we age. The mouth tends to become drier, which slows the healing process and makes the discomfort worse. I once met a man named Alan, age 71, during a joint checkup. During our conversation, he asked for help with a mouth sore because the small ulcer inside his cheek had made it nearly impossible for him to eat. He had been living on thin porridge for days and found it painful to speak. He had already tried rinsing with salt water and using over-the-counter mouthwashes, but nothing helped, in fact. Some made the pain worse. I advised him to try a gentler method. Each day, mix half a teaspoon of baking soda into a glass of warm water and use it as a mouth rinse 2 to 3 times a day. Swish it gently for about 1 minute, then spit it out. After just 3 days, he returned and said he could eat normally again. The sore had almost disappeared, and he felt much better overall. Mealtimes were no longer a burden, and his mood had lifted. Baking soda has a mild alkalizing effect that soothes the lining of the mouth. It helps neutralize the acidic environment, which is one of the reasons mouth sores take longer to heal. It also helps reduce bacteria without the stinging or dryness often caused by alcohol-based rinses. For older adults, keeping the mouth clean and comfortable can greatly improve both appetite and emotional well-being. When the pain is gone, you eat better, speak more easily, and feel stronger each day. Sometimes, just one small change is all it takes to bring back the simple joy of living. You might be surprised that such a familiar item like baking soda can offer so many health benefits after the age of 60, from sensitive skin, tired feet, digestive discomfort, mild urinary irritation, to mouth sores and denture care. All of these can be gently supported in a natural way. The key lies in how it is used. Baking soda should always be used in small amounts, at the right time, and in the right way. For example, when drinking it to support digestion or reduce urinary discomfort, you should only use half a teaspoon mixed into a glass of filtered water. It should not be taken more than twice per day, and not for longer than 5 consecutive days. If you have high blood pressure, kidney problems, or are taking medication, please consult your doctor before trying this approach. When used externally, such as for foot soaks, baths, or denture cleaning, baking soda is generally safe for most skin types. However, it is still wise to observe how your body responds after the first use, especially if your skin has reacted to other cleansing products in the past. Most importantly, you don't need to make baking soda part of your daily routine. Instead, treat it as a helpful tool for moments when your body speaks up. Taking care of your health in later years doesn't mean doing something big every day. It simply means listening closely and responding in the right way. Sometimes, it's the smallest steps that bring the greatest sense of comfort, perhaps even the peace you've been hoping for. We've just explored 7 practical benefits that baking soda can bring to your health after the age of 60. Even though it's a simple household item, when used the right way, it can help you sleep better, eat more comfortably, move with ease, and feel more confident in your daily life. What matters most isn't the baking soda itself, but the reminder it offers that caring for your health doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes, all it takes is a few quiet minutes each day to soak your feet. Rinse your mouth, sip a warm glass of water, or gently care for a patch of irritated skin. The body can begin to heal in its own quiet, natural way. Growing older doesn't mean you have to accept discomfort or fatigue as part of everyday life. On the contrary, this is the stage where you deserve to feel clean, comfortable, energized, and fully in charge of your own well-being. You don't need to change everything overnight. Just start with one small habit, repeated each day. If today you've learned even one way to make your body feel more at ease, that is already a big step forward. And if you found this content helpful, don't hesitate to share it with your loved ones. Leave a comment below, or let us know what worked for you. We will continue to share simple, effective health tips for seniors covering nutrition, sleep, light exercise, and natural remedies you already have in your kitchen. You deserve to live in good health. Every single day, starting with the smallest things.